Imagine watching the final moments of someone's life unfold in front of you, moments that are eerie, unsettling, and deeply confusing. In 2013, the story of Elisa Lam captivated millions, not only because of the tragic nature of her death, but also because of the deeply mysterious footage that showed her acting in a way no one could quite explain. Caught on a hotel's security camera, Elisa appears frantic, almost as if she's hiding from something or someone. But what was she hiding from? Was she simply disoriented, or was there something far darker at play? How did her life spiral into an unsolved mystery that's left countless people fascinated and disturbed? Today we're going to dive into the strange and unexplained details behind Elisa Lam's disappearance and death, a case that remains one of the most bizarre and chilling mysteries of our time. From her unnerving final moments to the questions that still haunt investigators, let's uncover what really happened to Elisa Lam and why her case continues to keep us on edge, even a decade later. Elisa Lam was just 21 years old, a Canadian student attending the University of British Columbia. She was described by those who knew her as bright and hopeful, but she also had her struggles. Elisa had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, which she shared openly on her blog. In her posts, she often expressed her feelings of isolation and a deep struggle with mental health, a struggle that her family and friends were aware but didn't fully understand the extent of. In early 2013, Elisa decided to embark on a solo trip to California. She wanted a fresh start, a break from her life back home. This trip was supposed to be a journey of self-discovery, but it would ultimately lead her down a very dark path. She arrived in Los Angeles, where she checked into the Cecil Hotel, a place that, ironically, had a dark history of its own. Known for its grim past, the Cecil Hotel had long been linked to disturbing incidents, violent crimes, and unexplained deaths, casting a shadow over this historic building. Elisa may not have known much about the hotel's past, but the connection between the Cecil Hotel and her own fate is something many have found unsettling. Now let's look at what happened in her final days, moments that would forever change her story. Elisa's time at the Cecil Hotel seemed ordinary at first. She was checking in with her family regularly, keeping up her routine, and even exploring parts of Los Angeles. But on January 31st, things took a turn. Elisa was seen behaving erratically, and after that day she stopped communicating with her family altogether. Her parents grew worried and reported her missing, triggering a search throughout the hotel and the surrounding areas. A few days later, the hotel released security footage from one of its elevators, hoping it might provide clues. And what this footage revealed was disturbing. In the video, Elisa appears to be hiding from someone or something just outside the elevator doors. She peeks out cautiously, moves her arms in odd, almost unnatural gestures, and presses multiple buttons frantically. The elevator doors remain open, almost as if they're stuck, adding to the surreal atmosphere of the footage. Was she being followed? Was she hallucinating? Or was there something more supernatural at play? This video quickly went viral, drawing millions of views and sparking endless speculation. Viewers analyzed every frame, trying to decode her movements. Was she in danger? Was she having a mental health episode? Or was there something else, something darker? That footage raised more questions than it answered, and it still remains one of the most unsettling parts of this case. After days of searching, the mystery deepened. Hotel guests began complaining about strange tasting water and low pressure in their taps. Maintenance workers were called to the hotel's rooftop, where they made a horrifying discovery. Elisa's body was found inside a large water tank. No one knew how she had gotten up there. The rooftop was supposed to be locked, with alarms in place to prevent guests from accessing it. The state of Elisa's body and the tank itself added more questions. How did she end up in that tank? The water tank's lid was reportedly closed, raising doubts as to how she could have entered and sealed it behind her. This discovery left investigators and the public shocked. It was both a tragic and mystifying end to Elisa's journey, and it cast a dark shadow over the hotel and its guests, who unknowingly used that water in the days following her disappearance. An autopsy report was finally released, concluding that Elisa's death was accidental and attributed it in part to her mental health struggles. It suggested that she may have experienced a psychotic episode, possibly due to not taking her medication, which could have led her to behave erratically. According to the report, there was no sign of physical trauma or foul play. But despite the official findings, many questions remain unanswered. How did she access the water tank? And if she was in a state of distress, How did she have the physical capability to climb in and somehow seal the lid? These uncertainties in the official report have fueled countless theories, with some questioning the thoroughness of the investigation and others speculating about supernatural forces that might have been involved. There are gaps that leave people wondering if there was more to the story than meets the eye, elements that don't quite add up in the official narrative. The mystery of Elisa Lam's death has led to a number of theories, each with its own set of supporters and skeptics. Some believe Elisa's death was purely a result of her mental health issues, suggesting that a combination of stress and a potential psychotic break could have caused her strange behavior and tragic end. Others are convinced that foul play was involved. They point out the unusual circumstances around her disappearance, the locked rooftop door, and the oddities in the autopsy report. Could someone have led her to the roof or somehow tampered with the water tank? And then there's a theory that leans toward the supernatural. The Cecil Hotel itself is infamous for its dark past, connected to various deaths, including the residence of serial killers like Richard Ramirez. Could it be possible that the place itself had a disturbing influence on Elisa's actions? Some people believe her behavior in the elevator resembles classic symptoms of possession or some kind of supernatural encounter. All of these theories continue to captivate the public, and the mystery surrounding Elisa Lam's death remains unsolved, adding to the enduring intrigue of her story. The mystery of what happened to Elisa Lam may never be fully resolved, but her story lives on, continuing to evoke both fear and sympathy from those who learn about it. What do you believe happened to Elisa Lam? Is it possible we're missing something crucial in this case? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you'd like to hear more about chilling mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell.